Masters week. This is. Wait, what?
I'm just excited for you.
Just while making a noise?
Yeah.
I love it because
Like
I feel the
trumpet.
exact same way. That is the exact noise that I made this morning when I woke up, knowing it was Monday of Masters week and knowing that Tiger Woods yesterday said he's going to be a game time decision. He was there playing yesterday, another round. He was looking absolutely fantastic right now. So if you want to roster him, there's a couple milli makers on DraftKings. You want to roster him, it's going to be $8,500. If you want to bet him on the DK Sportsbook, he's got plus 5,000 odds outright, top 5 plus 800, top 10 plus 400. This is literally a home away from home for this dude. And we've got DraftKings contributors Geoff Ulrich and Mr. Pearce Dietrich here to talk a little bit of golf as well.
The shoe's on the other foot because we often have Geoff talking NASCAR.
But, you know, and Geoff's
Pearce, he's a little out of his element. So now we're having Pearce talk golf with Geoff. So
I mean, the big difference, though, Jesse, is that, like, I'm a NASCAR expert, and Pearce is just still, like, this is new to him. So
we've just
we'll
pulled him off the
make
street.
sure he gets all the golfers' names right and stuff like that.
Yeah, Geoff, I believe also going back to Friday, I think your driver you had for your NASCAR picks, I think your guy finished top 20. I think it was 16th, but, you know, Pearce maintaining his large, chunky lead over you.
Yeah.
I forget who your pick was, Pearce, but he did take
Daniel
four.
Suarez was 7,800. Pearce went with, like, the 9,600 guy. Don't I get, like, some kind of handicap for that? I mean...
Yeah, no, there probably should be. And you notice there's no argument coming from Pearce.
I mean, let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
I do want to ask you real quick, Geoff. Like we saw what JJ Spawn did over the weekend. Good for him, his first career win, and he books a ticket to the Masters. But is it like his game, or is there anyone else's game over the weekend maybe either made you more confident in betting them or rostering them for the Masters, or is there someone maybe like a DeChambeau or like a McIlroy? Those guys missed the cut this past weekend. Maybe you're off them a little more for the Masters.
So, I mean, it's a very interesting lead up. I mean, like, we didn't have that many top players at the Valero, but, you know, the guys who missed the cut, mainly Rory. If you were into Rory big time and you just liked his body of work coming in, that's a great scenario because his odds aren't getting smaller, they're getting bigger now. So, I mean, you know, you can point to 2 rounds and be like, well, he stunk for 2 rounds. It's just 2 rounds. I mean, Rory McIlroy was playing pretty solid golf the last 6 months. He's got a win. His around the green game has been good. So I think it's actually a good scenario if you were already into Rory. You really shouldn't worry about 2 rounds of golf. It's not a big deal. But the players who did play well and who are, you know, potentially gaining a little bit of steam and needed that steam because they maybe hadn't looked so good. Tony Finau is definitely up there. You know, he's a top 25. He just didn't putt over the weekend, and his short game still let him down. But tee to green, most solid performance in a while. Siwoo Kim up there, going to be a great value. He was T12 at the Masters last year. He's looked very consistent all year. He's a dark horse winner. He's definitely potentially someone who could potentially, you know, ship a major at some point in his career. And then we got Jordan Spieth, who was like leading the field in a lot of tee to green stats, just couldn't sink a putt. We know what Spieth can do at Augusta. So I think Spieth has created a lot of steam for himself. I'm interested. The conditions at Augusta look like it's going to be cold, nasty, tough. That kind of fits Spieth's wheelhouse. So, you know, Jordan Spieth, Tony Finau, Siwoo Kim, all those guys, arrows pointed up for this week.
Okay.
All right, let's just really get into this week. We're doing Masters chase or fade. So which golfers are you chasing and fading in Augusta? Rahm's the favorite at plus 800.
Yeah.
He's never won, but also has finished in the top 10 in the last 4 Masters. So chase or fade the favorite this week, Geoff?
I mean, you can't bet guys at plus 800. Like for most major championships, for most weeks in golf, it's not really that profitable a strategy. Golf is just too deep these days. I mean, the top 10, top 15 players is just not that much between them. Rahm is still probably, like in my mind, you know, probably the best of the bunch, but he really hasn't played that great coming in. And at plus 800, like you're just getting too much better value propositions on players down the field. I mean, even Dustin Johnson, even Justin Thomas, you know, who you're getting around plus 1,200 or better, it's just going to be a better value proposition. He's played better than Rahm. So I won't be shocked if Rahm turns it around this week. He's been top 10 at this major almost every season that he started. But at plus 800, no, I'll fade him this week. And it's not really that tough a decision.
Pearce, you going to fade Rahm at plus 800 because there's just no value here?
Yeah, I think that's the case. I'm going to fade him as well. And I know chasing long shots at the Masters is really not the option, but at 800, and he's got a weakness. He has not been very good putting. He's just 136 in shots gained putting. And I think it's going to come down to these greens. If he's 136 in regular courses, on easy courses, on greens that he's familiar with, and then he gets to the Masters and putts that way, I don't see him winning, and the payout's just not that great.
All right, well, Rahm was number one in the world for the longest time until Scotty Scheffler decided to be a really good golfer in the past 3-4 months. So now he sits on top. He and Cam Smith, by the way, were not at the top of the odds boards, Pearce, back before the season started. So tell me right now, you chasing either one of these dudes to continue kind of their hot starts?
Yeah, I'll chase them both because they're doing the things that I want to see with Cam Smith. Third in shots gained putting. His approach is there. He doesn't hit the ball very far, which I think is going to hurt him on the par fives where you need to attack and to build your score up. But other than that, he's doing what we need. And then Scheffler's playing really well, obviously, and his approach is there. He's got a little bit more distance, so I think that he could probably attack the par fives and get the birdies that you need. Not quite as good of a putter, but I think both of them I would rather play than Rahm.
And also Cam Smith, Geoff, only golfer to ever shoot all 4 rounds in the 60s in a single Masters. We've seen him, I think, 3 top 10s in his last 4 starts here.
Yeah, no, and look, I think Pearce brings up a good point about Scheffler, though. I do think with the conditions and the course playing a bit longer, the par 5 scoring, when this course plays tough, the par 5 scoring is more important. I think Scheffler does have a bit of an advantage off the tee of Cam Smith. I think he's the better potential winner. If you're looking at the outright market, I would rather take Scheffler this week than Cam Smith. Cam Smith has been great at Augusta. He is a great young player, but he is, more, putter based, around the green based. And again, you need to be able to attack these par fives at Augusta. You have to score. Hideki had 3 eagles. He played 11 under on the par fives last year. I just think that Scheffler has a better chance of replicating that kind of performance. So I like Scheffler better. The real answer is, again, you're probably just getting better value in the outright market if you keep going deeper. Dustin Johnson's plus 1,600. Rory, who I've already mentioned, down to plus 2,000. Xander. There's just not that much between Scheffler, Smith, and these other guys. I know Scheffler and Smith have played better, but we just see things tilt so quickly in this sport that I think you've just got to keep going down the board here. So of these two, I like Scheffler. Pearce brings up a great point about the shots gained. I love how he says shots gained putting. It's strokes gained, but that's just a nerdy golf thing. But I'll take Scheffler over Cam Smith this week as well.
Listen, you both got to help each other out. He helps you when y'all talk NASCAR. You're helping him a little bit as he's breaking out of his comfort zone.
I'm still trying to figure out when to play races, so I don't.
Look.
You help
look
each
at
other
Pearce.
with the jargon.
Yeah.
We love it. All right.
He looks uncomfortable. He's here.
Pearce is the one who wore the Tiger Red today too. He's the one who's. I'm dressed like I'm going for a job interview or something. Pearce is ready to go on the golf course. So.
You guys are crushing it. Geoff, though, a little bit of an odds shift heading into Masters Week near the top that I want to talk about.
Yep.
The plus 2,000 to plus 2,500 range, a little more crowded. You got Koepka, Spieth, Rory, Hovland joining the crowd after being better than plus 2,000 last week. So are you targeting that range for a winner? You just were saying, you can't bet a guy who's plus 800, but what about these guys who are plus 2,000?
A lot of Koepka love this week.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it all over my timeline.
Yeah, no, and look, I'm not necessarily anti-Brooks or anything. At plus 2,000, I think this is where you can target multiple of these players this week when you're starting an outright card. You could even just target 3 of them and just be done with it, because I think that when it comes down to it, like I said, Scotty Scheffler's won 3 times in a row, or not 3 times in a row, but 3 times to start the season in the last 3 months is what I was trying to say. But is he a better golfer than Colin Morikawa or Rory Mcilroy long term? Not really. These guys are kind of all in the same talent range. So I love targeting this range. I think that I've already stated a case for Rory Mcilroy kind of on Twitter. He's great coming off missed cuts. 3 of his last 6 wins have been off missed cuts. His around the green game has gained him strokes in 8 straight PGA Tour events now. That's going to be key this week because bogey avoidance in a tougher course is going to be key. But Jordan Spieth has the immaculate course history at Augusta. He's played great tee to green of late at plus 2,200. I don't hate that. And then Brooks is just the sort of major championship wizard. Obviously, I like Rory at this range. I think that's where I'm going to start. Who else would I add from here? I'd probably think between Spieth and Koepka, because those guys, major championship form and Masters record, it's pretty hard to beat.
All right, Pearce, who do you like in this range?
I like Xander and Morikawa. And the first thing, I'm going to throw out the players. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but the weather seems to have messed with the results. And if I'm going to throw out the players' results, then I'm not so much leaning on current form. I'm going to lean a little bit more on course history. And Augusta is a place where course history is going to play a little bit more than the current form. And Xander has finished second, 13th, 17th at this place. And before the Players, he was playing well. And then Morikawa, 2 of 8 in majors. That's kind of impressive. He seems to know what he's doing. He's had a decent result at Augusta. So I think those are the 2 that I'm going to go with.
Yeah, 8 majors, halfway to the career Grand Slam already. It's pretty freaking impressive. Who's a guy with longer odds you are chasing, Pearce?
Corey Connors. Just like we mentioned Spieth earlier, he was 5 under on Sunday at the Valero, and he checks all the boxes: approach, putting. He does everything, and recent form is there. He got top 25 at the Players, finished 11th at the Arnold Palmer, and he's played well at Augusta in the past. I'm kind of surprised that his odds are as deep as they are. So Connors is the guy I'm really interested in.
Very nice of you to go with a Canadian when you're on a segment here with Geoff. Geoff, some smart people out there are talking about Billy Horschel at plus 7,000.
Wow, could you link me to these smart people? I've seen, maybe the opposite of that, mention him, but look, Connors is great. He's a great tee to green player. I don't trust his around the green game, and just quite frankly, I don't trust him making like those 6-footers down the stretch to take a piece of him in the outright at plus 5,500. I'd rather go with Joaquin Niemann, who has shown that he's got like the wizardry around the game, around the greens, to potentially win this event one year. I really do think Joaquin Niemann is a player you will see win at Augusta during his career. He's that talented, and a plus 6,500 with a win already in his bag at Riviera, I think that's a better value proposition for this week. I also like Siwoo Kim for many of the same reasons. Maybe these guys aren't consistent, as consistent as ball striking as Corey Connors, but Siwoo Kim is an absolute wizard around the greens too. And when he won at the Players, what were the conditions? It was really tough that year. He won at around 10 under par. So I think these conditions this year set up well for Siwoo, who played really well last week, and a plus 9,000, man, with his form. I will take him over pretty much anyone, over plus 7,000 this week, including your boy, Billy Ho Emerson.
Okay, you saw yesterday he was hugging Tiger Woods on the range.
Yeah, that's because Tiger felt sorry for him.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay.
All right, big selection on the DK Sportsbook this week. So what other sorts of bets are you looking at? Geoff, Louis to break the course record is plus 5,000.
Yeah. I mean, if that happens, then it'll be a great thing. But no, I'm not necessarily going to bet on Louis. I think that the more interesting proposition necessarily might be these missed cut parlays,
Yeah.
and something you can put together here. I mean, we've got some players coming in. Tiger Woods at minus 115 to miss the cut. Bryson DeChambeau minus 180 to miss the cut. You can parlay a few of these guys here to maybe miss the cut and make yourself like a nice sort of plus money parlay. Sorry, Bryson is plus 135 to miss the cut. So I like parlaying these missed cuts with some of the top players. Maybe start with Bryson at plus 135. Maybe throw in like I don't know, maybe like a Tony Finau, Reed's favorite at plus 180. I'm just going to target all the players that Reed likes, but I like the miscut parlays because you're getting really good odds on some of these top players. Not everyone's coming in with good form. We're going to get a little bit of wonky weather, so watch the news, the weather forecast, because Friday afternoon could be a lot windier than Friday morning, and those top players that are playing Friday afternoon, you're going to want to maybe look for some really good plus money odds for them to miss the cut, especially if they haven't been great to start the year. So I don't have a specific bet, but watch these missed cut parlays. Friday afternoon players, they're going to be high on my list. And Billy Ho Emerson to miss the cut is plus 225.
Yeah.
I just want to throw that out.
You
there
were
for
just giving Tony Finau like some love like 5 minutes ago too.
Well,
Okay?
if he's in
Make
the
up your
Friday
mind.
PM wave, I will take that back and I may put him in a missed cut parlay. But we'll see. We'll see
You're
how it breaks out.
embarrassing yourself.
Pearce,
Stop.
what do you think? You got your eye on the weather too?
Not really, but I do have my eye on some specific bets at least, and I'll give you some long shots. How about Sung Jae Im at 7,500? I know he's playing terrible lately. That's why you're getting these odds, but he did finish second in the Fall Masters. He missed the cut last year, but hey, those are pretty good odds. And the one that I really like is any player to shoot a 59 or under. I know it's pretty preposterous, and 59 or lower is pretty crazy, but it's plus 10,000. And it's a bet that's going to be live all weekend. It gives you something to root for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. And you're also, it's like you win 3 times. Not only do you win the bet, but you get to watch something that's incredibly exciting. You get to watch perfection, one of the greatest rounds of golf ever. And again, it's a bet that's, some of these bets you make, you're dead Thursday afternoon, you're dead Friday, but you place this bet and you've got something to root for and party and have fun with all weekend.
Dude, if somebody shoots 59 in the conditions this week, I mean, we're talking like, it'll be beyond historic stuff. I don't know if people are going to be able to shoot 69 with the weather at like 60. So
now Tiger's going to go out and shoot 59.
Like Kevin said on The Office, if somebody gives you plus 10,000 on something, you should just take it.
All right, Pearce, Tigers minus 115 to make the cut, minus 115 to miss the cut. Which one would you rather bet?
Make the cut. He's not going to show up if he can't make the cut.
Agreed. Geoff, you agree with that?
No, I don't. Miss the cut.